I'm Katie Stilp. I'm the local history librarian at Appleton Public Library, and today I'm going to teach you how to quickly browse in Fold3 Library Edition. Fold3 Library Edition, if you're not familiar, is one of our free libraries genealogy databases that you can access from home for free with your library card. So perhaps you've already tried to use Fold3 and you've been frustrated when you put in your ancestor's name and you've gotten results that aren't relevant, or perhaps you've gotten so many results that it's really too much to go through. Unfortunately, on Fold3, your search function is not very user-friendly or accurate, and it's not the best way to use the site. Browsing the site works a lot better, and it's going to lead you to a lot more resources that you didn't realize that Fold3 had. For example, did you even know that Fold3 had more than just military records? They have things like city directories, newspapers, census records, and even some vital records for a couple areas in the United States. Also important to know is that your ancestor's name is not as unique as you think it is. So in order to make sure that you're searching the right ancestor, you want to make sure that you know what regiment and unit that they served in if you're looking for a military-specific resource. In order to find this information before you start searching in Fold3, you want to look at your existing genealogy research. Perhaps their obituary, their tombstone, or maybe you have some discharge papers from when they were released from the war that would have what unit and regiment they served in. If not, maybe try to think about what state they likely served in. For example, if they lived in Illinois during the Civil War, did they serve in that state? Well, perhaps you could locate a statewide roster for Illinois to see if you can locate them and see what regiment and unit they served in. Perhaps there's a roster for that state on Fold3, or perhaps there might be another site like the National Park Service's site that has some Civil War ancestors listed on it. Or maybe there's some offline resources at your local library or at a library where your ancestor would have lived that they could help you narrow down what regiment and unit your ancestor might have served in. Next, I want to teach you kind of about how Fold3 is organized. So the way I like to think of Fold3 is thinking of it like a room full of file cabinets. Of course, it's not a room full of file cabinets, it's a website, but this is how it's organized. So first, if you walk through a room of file cabinets, you want to figure out which file cabinet you need to search through first. You want to search through 100 file cabinets. You want to search through the right one. So first, what you do when you come to Fold3 is you narrow down based on what conflict your ancestor was a part of, or you narrow down by looking through the non-military records. And I'll show you a demonstration of this in just a few minutes. But first, you'd select something like Civil War or Revolutionary War. That's the right file cabinet. Now, once you have that different conflict, then you're going to figure out what file cabinet drawer is correct. So this is the collections that are in that file cabinet. So for example, once you narrow down to Civil War, it's going to give you all the Civil War collections. So for example, a title of a collection in the Civil War collection is going to be U.S. Civil War Service Index, Union, Illinois, 1861 to 1865. So I know this might be a relevant collection for me if I'm trying to find my ancestor who served in the Civil War through Illinois. Now, on this page, you can also see how complete a collection is here. So it's helpful to know if a collection is 100% complete or if it's only 20% complete, because you know if you're searching it when it's 100% complete and you don't find your ancestor, that means they weren't a part of this collection. If you search it and it's only 20 or 50% complete, you know you want to come back later when the collection might be 100% complete because maybe your ancestor's part just hasn't been added to the collection yet. Also on this part, you can narrow down the collections by searching in the search bar. So for example, if I wanted to search just for Illinois or just for Wisconsin or a specific word in that collection, I can do this on that part of the site. Now that I've found the right drawer or the right collection in Fold3, there's going to be more file folders or more things that I have to click through in order to get to where the stuff is on my ancestor. And this stuff is going to be arranged in a certain way depending on what the collection is and how the collection's arranged and organized. So for example, this Civil War Service Index collection is alphabetical. So they have a letter for each surname and what that letter starts with. So if I'm looking for Amos Hamilton, I know I want to click on H first to get to Hamilton. Other collections might be organized first by state or by county name. It again really depends on what the collection title is and how the collection is arranged. This will make a little bit more sense when I show you a live demonstration in just a second. There might be a couple of clicks you have to go through or more file folders that you have to kind of wade through, depending on how the collection's arranged or how large the collection is. But then eventually you're going to get to an image that's going to have your ancestor's name on it, and then you can pull up this image to view it. You can also save or print it as you want. So now I'm going to show you a live demonstration of how this works and how it looks on Fold3. So hopefully it makes more sense for you. So first, to get to the site, you're going to go to apl.org, which is our library's website. Then you're going to click on eLibrary. At this point, you want to make sure to have your library card number out if you're accessing the site from home, because it's going to ask for your library card number. So this is where all of our databases live. This is an A to Z alphabetical listing of all of our databases. So I could scroll down to the F's to get to Fold3. Or we also have subjects pulled out. So since I know that Fold3 is a genealogy database, I'm going to click on genealogy. And then I have a lot less database listings to go through. So now I can see Fold3 Library Edition is right here, and I can click on it. Now it's going to ask for your barcode number. So just quickly, I'm going to pause my screen share so I can type in this number. All right, we're back. Now that you've entered your library card number, you can see this is what Fold3 looks like. So now, remember when I talked about the different file cabinets and the different collections that there are? Well, first, that's where these are. These are all the different squares representing a different military conflict. So you can see Revolutionary War, War of 1812, etc., etc. And then there's also some specialized collections, one for Black history, one for Native American, and one for non-military, which I'll show you in just a second. But first, let's go with the example again that I'm searching for my Civil War ancestor who I know served in Illinois. So first, I would want to find the Civil War collections. So you can see there's one that's all Civil War. There's also one that's specifically for Union or one that's specifically for Confederate. Just for simplicity's sake, I'm going to click on the Civil War one. Now, once I'm here, I'm in that right file cabinet. Now I want to look for the right drawer. So to get to the right drawer, I'm going to click on where it says Publications. So this is going to give me a listing of all the different collections that are within this Civil War section of the site. And you can see right up here, there's over 102 million records in Fold3 just on the Civil War. So that's why it's a little more difficult when you're trying to search for your ancestor, unless you browse this way. So right here, I can see all the different collection titles. If I really wanted to, I could browse through all of these. And you can see some of them say how complete they are. And again, you can kind of scroll through some of these if you want. So you can see some of them aren't always 100% complete. This one, for example, for the widow's pension is only 22% complete. So I know that I probably don't want to search through that one at this point. But remember earlier, I said you can filter out by the title name. So up here in the search bar is where I could type in Illinois to get to just the Illinois specific ones. So now I can see that Civil War Service Index for the Union soldiers in Illinois during the Civil War that I was interested in. So I'd click on it just to get into it. I can do a little bit more reading on an overview of it. I can see the description up here to learn a lot more about this specific collection and where documents came from, all that fun stuff that's really relevant to learning more about this collection. But in order to find my ancestor and to browse through the collection, I want to click Browse first. So now we're in this one collection, and you can see it's listed out by alphabetical by surname. So again, if I'm searching for my ancestor, Amos Hamilton, I want to click on H. Now there's another click because there's so many records that start with H. They also want you to file it out by the second letter of the name. So HA is the one I'm going to click on to get to Hamilton. Up here, you can see an approximation of how many records are in this area. So yes, I could scroll through them, but 500 is a lot. Thankfully, what I can do is I can click in this search bar and I can start typing the surname. And then it's going to narrow it down. It also includes first names in here as well. So you can see there's still 405 results, which is a lot to go through. Thankfully, I can put a comma and then start typing his first name. And now I can see there's only 2 results. Thankfully, from my previous research, I know that his middle initial was W. So I know this is the ancestor I'm looking for. If I click on his name, now I can see that there are 2 images related to him in this collection. So I can click on his name and be brought right into that image. So now I see his name up here. I see he was a part of the 47th Illinois Infantry in Company D. and that he was a corporal. So that's really great information for me. From here, I can save or print this record. To do that, you want to come to this little tool icon, and here you can download or print it as well. To get back to all the results, you just click that back button, and you can either keep going back and back and back, or to get to the main home part of Fold3, just click on the banner where it says Fold3, and it will bring you right back out. So now quickly before we wrap up, I just wanted to show you all the non-military stuff that they have in here. So if you scroll down and click on where it says non-military, you're going to go through the same process that we just did when we found my Civil War ancestor by clicking on publications. So now again, I can search through all the different names to see what they have in here, or I can just start typing and narrowing down. So I can type in birth to see what birth-related records they have in here. They have some from Ohio, they have some from Texas, from Massachusetts. I could type in census and get the census records that are in here. Or I could type in Wisconsin, for example, and see, oh, there's a city directories for Milwaukee for a certain time period. And again, to get to that collection, you would just click on it and then go into browse. And then you can see this one, for example, is broken down by year. So I could click on a certain year and then be brought into those images. So hopefully this helped you learn how to browse Fold3 and how to use the site a little bit more effectively. If you do have any questions or need a little bit more help, feel free to reach out. My email address is on the screen, kstilp@apl.org, or you can call our reference desk phone number at 920-832-6173, or feel free to come visit us at the library. Thanks.